In this video, we will be examining the lower cranial nerves, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. That is glossopharyngeal, vagus, accessory nerve and hypoglossal nerve. So we start with glossopharyngeal and vagus nerve. When ideally we start with the test, actually first we test the vagus nerve because vagus is the motor part, and we ask the patient to open the mouth. Just open your mouth. And ask the patient to say ah.
Ah.
Again,
Ah.
we can see the uvula is in the center. Say ah again.
Ah.
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 Yeah. You can see the posterior pharyngeal arches. Uvula is centrally pulled up and the posterior pharyngeal arches are equal on both the sides. This is, we haven't touched anything. So it is the vagus nerve we tested first. Then we will go for the gag reflex. In the gag reflex, we will stimulate the area, then we will see for the reflex. So sensory part is the glossopharyngeal nerve and the contraction part is the vagus nerve. So again, the examiner will focus a bit. Yes. Don't do anything now. Apply a tongue depressor. At one side, you have to test either side. Do not touch the cotton or the wisp of cotton or in the center. We have to test for one side at a time. Again, just open your mouth. Just open your mouth. Relax. So as you saw, when I touched, then the contraction happened. So this is the glossopharyngeal nerve, that is the afferent and efferent vagus nerve. We have to see the same things what we have asked the patient to do while saying ah. The same findings are there. In a pathological cause, say for example there is paralysis on one side. Again open. What you see in the paralysis of the one side will be the uvula will be shifted to the opposite side of the paralysis. This is the caveat to remember. The uvula shifts to the opposite side of the lesion in a case of glossopharyngeal or vagus nerve paralysis. Now we go for the next, that is the accessory nerve. For the accessory nerve, they supply the sternocleidomastoid muscle and the trapezius muscles. So for the testing of the trapezius muscle, the examiner may go behind of the patient or he can just be in front of the patient and apply pressure on the shoulders and ask the patient to lift the shoulders. Lift your shoulders. Lift against resistance. If there is a unilateral trapezius palsy, the patient won't be able to lift that particular shoulder. As far as sternocleidomastoid is concerned, we will ask the patient to move his head against resistance. Say for example to left side. If I ask the patient to move your head to the left side, yes, we see the right sternocleidomastoid muscle contracting. Torch can you open? You can see the right sternocleidomastoid muscle contracting when the head is moving to the left, and also this side the person is moving against resistance to the right. The left sternocleidomastoid should be palpated and it is standing out and prominently contracted. Next, coming to the hypoglossal nerve, which supplies the tongue. So the examination procedure of hypoglossal nerve will be, first you have to just ask the patient to open the mouth. Just open your mouth. Don't bring out your tongue. Yes. Here I will just watch whether the tongue is small, or it is a spastic, or there is some fasciculations on the tongue which is abnormal. It is a sign of lower motor neuron paralysis. So I will just watch the tongue. Then I will ask the patient to bring out the tongue. Keep your tongue, bring out your tongue. Yes, the tongue has protruded centrally. In a case of unilateral paralysis of hypoglossal nerve, the tongue will deviate towards the site of lesion. The tongue will deviate towards the site of lesion. Say for example, there is a right-sided hypoglossal paralysis, the tongue will deviate. And there is a very classical sign which is known as Dinkler sign. What does the Dinkler sign will say? What is that sign? When the tongue deviates to one side, on the side of deviation, this subject is normal, so it is not visible now. On the side of deviation, the tongue appears the ipsilateral side appears to be a little bit higher and it looks more thicker or voluminous. This is a positive Dinkler sign which is seen in a hypoglossal of nerve paralysis. Next, I will ask the patient to thrust the tongue from inside his mouth to my palpable hands or fingers. Yes, I will palpate and he is thrusting the tongue. That means motor power is okay. So remember, hypoglossal nerve paralysis, the tongue will be shifted to the side of lesion. In the 9/10 nerve paralysis, the uvula will shift to the opposite side of lesion. So this is how we have tested 9, 10th and 11th, 12th cranial nerves.